is what I'm looking at right now. They both want to jump in my lap. They wait until I'm filming to do this. Oh, aren't you too cute? Now go away. Howdy y'all, Random Lady here, and I have a story for you. And let me ask you, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and will you look through my videos? To keep me posted, if you do me a favor, if you like this video, hit like. If you want to know what's going on, then hit subscribe, okay? And I'll let you know when a new video comes out. Okay, I won't, but YouTube will. If you hit that little bell, the little, things on the bell, it'll let you know. YouTube's got you. I want to talk about a crazy neighbor that I had. He was a mess. We shared the same landlord, and we had houses next door to each other on a cul-de-sac. And he had this huge dog that kept breaking through the fence into our backyard. We called the landlord about the fence, and she said, it's his responsibility for the fence, because that was a deal that, Okay, so it was his responsibility to take care of the fence because that was part of their deal when they moved into their house, is he agreed he would keep up with the fence. We had an extra large backyard. Our part of the deal was to take care of the yard, but that doesn't matter. His dog kept breaking into our yard and messing with our dog. And we got tired of it. We kept telling him, your dog's in our yard again, your dog's in our yard. He got to the point, he was so woo, that he was accusing us of putting his dog in our yard. How crazy is that? So that kind of sort of ticked me off so bad that what I did was I called, the next time he got in our yard, is I called the city pound. And when they came to get the dog, I waited until they were already in our yard getting the dog, and then I ran over and knocked on the door and went, oh, your dog is in our yard again, and they're coming to take him away. Okay, that was pretty bad of me. I'm sorry. Well, he got so mad. He made up this sign because apparently the landlord talked to him, and he found out that we had talked to the landlord, and he painted this sign and he put it in between our houses because I had a window that you looked out between the houses, and the sign was leaned up against his house that said, mind your own business. So I made a sign on a poster board with a big marker that basically had a dummy face that said, duh, and I put it in my window, and he didn't like that. So he started sitting on his yard, on his porch, cleaning his gun. Now, really, did this warrant being threatened with a gun? I think not. Now, this is down in Texas, and almost everybody has a gun, but it could be a veiled threat. When he's sitting there cleaning his gun, because we're mad at each other, I took it as a threat. So what do? I call the police, and they talk to him about his cleaning his guns on his porch. Well, then that made him really mad. So he continued to clean his guns on his porch, kind of saying hateful things whenever we would go in and out of our house. So I had been fed up with this guy. He was doing things, he was yelling out cusses at us. And one time my sister and I, we were throwing a frisbee in the backyard, and he called the landlord and said, they're teasing my dog. It was petty, ridiculous, like it does with battles between neighbors. So I decided to get revenge. Revenge is wrong, people, but at the time, I wasn't thinking right. So we had a lot of poison ivy in our backyard, and we had agreed with the landlord that we would clean up the poison ivy. Most people break out really bad when it comes to poison ivy. I'm one of those people that it doesn't affect. I'll get a few little red dots, and that's about it. So I took on the task of cleaning out the poison ivy, and it was a process because there was a lot, because it was a huge backyard that had been unkept by the previous tenants. So I took some of that poison ivy. In the middle of the night, I wrapped it around his door handle. And I shouldn't be laughing, y'all. It's so wrong. And I wrapped it around his windshield wipers. And I conveniently kind of hid the leaves so that you couldn't tell it was poison ivy. I don't know what happened from there. But another thing that I did was I know everything's done online these days, but back then when you ordered magazines, you'd get the little cards out of a magazine and you would order to get a monthly subscription from the magazine. Well, I went to the grocery store, went on the magazine aisle, and I would shake the magazines out until I got a whole stack of these cards to order magazines. And then I ordered these special stickers. And of course we were neighbors, so I knew his address. And I knew his name from the mailbox. And his name was Jonas. So what I wrote on these little stickers was Joan Ass. And I ordered a ton of magazines under the name Joan Ass. And yeah, it was wrong. But anyway, have you ever had any crazy neighbors? I'm pretty sure you have. Or maybe you've been a crazy neighbor like I was with the whole poison ivy and the magazines and everything. Yeah, that was wrong. Well, if you have any comments about crazy neighbors you've had, I'd sure like for you to type them below. And let's have a conversation about it. That's it. I hope you liked my story, and you have a great one. Bye. A little notes, because that was a deal that... Joan Ass.